Hi, soapy friends. Alright, welcome to a fun little soapy session live stream here with me today over on Facebook. And yep, you guessed it, we're not making soap. We're actually packaging up some soap. Packaging soap has got to be I don't know, what do we prefer less? Doing the dishes or packaging the soap? I think if you have a good podcast and maybe some friends, then they're both just absolutely fine chores, but they are kind of some of the chores that come along with soap making if you sell soap. So today we're going to package up some shampoo bars. I love the way they smell, even though I don't scent them. It's just like a nice, earthy, wonderful, soapy smell. I've also got some end cuts. We'll package those up. And as we kind of go through and get this little chore done, we'll also talk a little bit about the labels and all that fun stuff. I went through quite the whirlwind of options with trying to figure out how to package my soaps. As you can see, I have a very unique shape for soaps. I contemplated having custom boxes made, and when I was first starting out, I said, well, it'd look really good, but that is quite the expense that I wasn't quite ready to dive into yet. And I also, with my brand, I'm really focusing on, it is a zero waste. I do focus on zero waste and sustainability. So I also thought, well, you know, all that extra packing and shipping of the packaging boxes, unless I can find someone local, you know, there's a lot to think about around that. So I decided boxes weren't the way I wanted to go. For a while, I did go naked, meaning I did not wrap them, label them, nothing. I just sold soap, and when people bought the soap, I would package the soap up into a box and ship it out to them. Typically, I would put the soap in a brown paper bag. Let me grab one and I'll show you. It's just a basic merchandising bag, something very similar to this. So someone would buy a soap, I'd grab one, I'd pop it in its bag just to like keep it safe for shipping. And I would get whatever I'm shipping it in, pop it in, ship it out. Well, I realized everything's getting packaged, whether or not I package it when I ship it, or if I, you know, go ahead and do something like this and package it all up. So I decided let's go ahead and actually package the soaps, because they're being packaged anyway, and it would speed up the shipping process a little bit. I also started getting, hi Anita, getting some wholesale requests in, and well, wholesalers they like things labeled. They like things packaged and labeled, put it on the shelf, don't think about it, off you go. Originally what I did was I did bags. I had cotton bags, still have a few of them, and I would just pop a bar of soap into a bag. That was pretty easy. I ended up doing hang tags for the labels. Took a little bit of time, but it worked out until I realized they're kind of a mess for wholesalers and doing a display with all those hang tags. So got rid of the hang tags and ended up printing directly on the bags. That worked really, really, really well for me for quite a while. The only reason why I stopped packaging my soaps in printed cotton bags, fully reusable by the way, and I made sure they were 100% cotton, so you could even, they could even be composted at a commercial composting facility that accepted that. But anyway, then COVID happened, and I think that is, you know, lots of things happened since COVID with all of our pricing. Bags went from like, I think I was paying something, gosh, I don't know. I don't remember. the bags, the printed bags, I ran the math on doing a box versus doing a printed bag. And the bags are actually cheaper when you took in time the amount of labor to open a box, put a box together, put a bar of soap in the box, and then close the box versus bag stuff. Anyway, the bags were cheaper than the boxes, but then COVID hit, and I'm starting to think, it was a while ago, I'm going to say my bags, let's just say they were 70 cents a bag. Let's just say. I don't know. I know they were under $1. Anyway, they were going to be like $3.50 per bag, and that was ordering thousands at a time. It was nuts, the cost of the cotton bags. So I was like, well, poo. That's not going to work. So I had to think of something else. I already gone down the box route, and the box route was going to be, I just didn't want to do that. So I got to thinking about wrapping soaps and with my oddball shape here. And I also had started having a lot of more kind of square, rectangular, standard bar soaps that I needed to sell because of all the soaping I was doing with all of you. And I pour those, into some of them are standard rectangle molds. So now here I am with 2 different shapes and sizes of soap that all need to be packaged up. Some of them are going to be pretty gosh darn custom. And bags didn't work, and I knew I didn't want a box. So what I did was I contacted a local printer and asked them if they could get this 35-pound craft paper. And this is really basically like packing paper. And if they could cut it down for me into these squares. And they did. I could not find the stuff pre-cut. I did a bunch of samples. Yeah, these are 7x7 square. And, I got some paper, and you can buy this super cheap in a roll. And I just cut it to different sizes and wrapped so many different soaps with this one size of paper. And it's perfect. It's 7x7. And there's pretty much nothing I can't wrap in this sucker. And got some labels, and now this is what I do. And I'm going pretty slow right now. I do still have some issues with my hands and wrists with all of the issues I've been having recovering from the break, which we'll talk more about that. I don't know, later day or another day. So I go a little bit slower on this, but all in, including my labor on this, I think I'm looking at about 35 cents per bar is my packaging cost. That is astoundingly cheap for a small maker. Here, see, I just got 10 of them in, and we are, I don't know how long. We're like 5 minutes, and I got 10 of them done, and I've been yapping and walked around, and I have a full case pack done. So yay! See, that wasn't too bad. I do put them into case packs. So I have 10 in a case pack. I do case packs of 10 because that makes inventory OMG super easy. I have a label on a box. This box has 10, and I have a stack of boxes on my racks and shelving. So I can just count how many boxes I have, add a 0 to the end, and now I know how many soaps I have. Makes inventory a super breeze. Another thing as we're going through this, I want to show you something. See my stack of soaps here? This is a pretty small batch for me for production soaps, but again, the whole wrist thing, not being on the lift and all that. So I just did a little baby batch, so this was 50 bars, and I was able to use my cafeteria trays. But see how I stack them? See how this row goes one way and the row on top goes another way. Just wanted to point that out. It helps with airflow if your soaps are, if you're going to do some one way and some the other way, but you end up getting a little more airflow, and it makes for things a little bit more stable. Back to the labels, because I did say we'd talk a little bit about some labeling. On the comment or description for this video, I did link to a blog post about labeling soaps. Now, it is labeling in the United States. That's what I know about labeling in the United States. And I tried to make it super duper simple with the very basics outlined for you. And then, most importantly, I linked to Marie Gale's book and website. If you're in the U.S., I'm pretty sure most of us all know, but just in case you don't, maybe you're new to soap making and having to label them, grab her book, go check out her website. She has all the info, like the law and regulations for wrapping soap, just explained so that the average person can understand them. Because they can get pretty confusing. So what you have to do on the face of your label, and that means the main face of the product that people see. So the face, in my case, this is how I display them, like that. So on the face, you have to say what it is, who made it, or you have to say what it is, how much it weighs. So it's shampoo and the weight of it. And then I can have an identifying product identifier. So it's the ACV or apple cider vinegar bar. And then I have some marketing text on it. I'll put that up a little closer for you. I don't know if that's going to focus. And I can't even tell you're so far away. It's like, do I bifocal or look through the main glasses to see that? But anyway, it explains how to wash your hair with this bar of soap. Then that if it's just soap, that's all you need. Or aside from how to get in contact. So I got my website and my address on here. I have a batch number here. This is my ingredient list, which you do not need if you're just selling it as soap. But if you do list one ingredient, you kind of have to list them all. And I list them with the inky name. And then on the other side here, this is all marketing text too, where I explain how to hold the half round bar of soap and how to dry it so it smiles at you and stuff like that. Again, that's just like all marketing text. That's what I have on the label. And like I said, the website or the blog post that I linked in the description goes into detail about all of that for you with some really straightforward examples. And then you can also pop questions on there if you want. And in the members only Zoom session, the Q&A chats, all members are welcome. You can email me your label and I will happily give you a critique on both the design and regulations formatting of it, if you would like me to. That's just something that we can just do on those Q&A soapy sessions over on Zoom that we do, and the members. They're so fun. As far as the design for my labels go, I did design them myself. I do happen to have, I have a bachelor's degree in graphic design and marketing with a really crazy long name with with a emphasis and internet architecture or something crazy long. It sounds all fancy. I got it it was in the early 90s when the internet was just a thing and they didn't really need to know. No one knew what to call those degrees, so anyway, my bachelor degree is pretty long. The name of it. Okay, so that gave me kind of, a little better background to get into as far as designing labels goes. But my number one tip for designing your labels is to keep it simple. Please, please, please keep it simple. You can fonts. I think that's still the biggest thing that I see people kind of overdo is they use all of these crazy, crazy fonts. One, like maybe 2 fonts. That's all you need. And make sure the fonts are legible. That's a biggie. Legibility and limiting the number of fonts. And don't go too crazy on your colors. And if you are going to be printing your labels yourself, which I do, I just run them through the printer I have here. It is a laser printer. Don't design your labels so that if your design does not perfectly align to the sheet, the label cutout on the sheet, it's not the end of the world. So like on this one, it's not perfectly centered. The amount of space between there and the amount of space between there, it's not perfect. It's designed so this is fully centered, but it didn't come out centered on the sheet. It was off just a smidge. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It still looks fine. No one's ever going to care about that. So don't try and what's called bleed, have your color go off the edge of the sheet. I just kind of just avoid that. I guess I'll stop on the design tips when we're not really like looking at a design thing. Get a little bit confusing if you don't know all the terminology. But yeah, so just really keep your labels as simple as possible and really let the, kind of the font and aesthetics carry your brand across it, be portrayed through the label and whatever you're doing with the packaging on it. Oh, by the way, these are just Uline boxes. They're 9x6x3. I use them for shipping and I use them for case packs. Oh, case packing also makes shipping wholesale orders super easy. My tape is fully compostable too. It's from a company called Eco Enclose, and they have boxes. They have, you can get custom made boxes, tuck boxes, display boxes, shipping boxes. They have fully compostable mailers. So when I ship, if I'm just shipping out 1 bar of soap, I pop it into a compostable mailer. First class mail is 16 ounces. This is about 2. So I can put 3 bars of soap in here and still mill it first class. And this is how I ship my soap, my friends. Bam. I ship it like that. And it works great. And again, plastic free, fully compostable, all that good stuff. And then I also get the post office, USPS. If you did not know this already, please be aware. They give you free shipping boxes. You can order them on their website. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention about wrapping soaps. I wrap all my soaps to help prevent DOS. Naked soaps, I have found, are way more prone to DOS than soaps that are protected. So wrapping it protects it from both light and exposure to air once they're, fully cured, or, they will cure through just a thin piece of paper. But mainly it's the exposure to light. I know in the DOS post, we talked about, my patchouli soap, my blue patchouli soap that got that horrible sun and heat exposure my first year in markets here in Tucson, Arizona in the desert. I had that nasty DOS. I had a rebatch, an entire batch of soap. Oh, it was crazy. We did get floating soap out of it, so that was fun. Okay, so wrapping protects them from the elements. So your soap is going to last longer. It's not going to DOS. I did do a test because I was worried, again, with the wrapping of the soap, are there going to be fewer people buying my soap because they're fully wrapped and you cannot see the soap? I tested this. I tested it with having soaps, just like this. You cannot see the soap at all. I don't have the one naked bar showing it off or anything. Just my soap sitting there all wrapped up with a sign of what they are and how much you can buy them for, versus my some more kind of like some of the soaps that we do on classes with our super fancy swirls. I'm sitting there all naked, please buy me, I'm so beautiful, sitting next to my fully wrapped bars of soap, which are totally awesome, and you can't see them. Yeah, I sold more of the fully wrapped soaps than the naked soaps. So as far as sales go, you would think if wrapping it decreased sales, I wouldn't have sold more. I don't think I sold more because they were wrapped by any means, but wrapping it obviously did not hamper the sales of the soaps at all in any way. These are lunch sacks from the grocery store. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so what I do with these is, I'm going to tear my scale here for one of the bags. Okay, I have 24 ounces of scraps here. Now, I have scraps for a couple of reasons. One, you saw that one bar that I pulled off because it was a little bit underweight. I mean, like, life happens, no big deal. And I cut, these are the tops of the pipes. See, that was the top of a pipe. So I just cut that off. Well, I would save these. I mean, look at that. That's almost a full bar of soap. It's almost, but it's not quite. And that's all that was wrong with it. It was just slightly under. And, oh, look, 12. There's 12 ounces there. Close enough to 12. And, yeah, this bag, nope, that bag's around. I'm going to grab another bag. Okay, so I'll put 12 ounces of soap in these. So this is the equivalent of 3 of my 4-ounce bars, right? Well, I'm going to put them in a scrap sack here. And I just recently started doing this. I have mystery grab bags, which is random odds and ends of any batch of soap. I'll just put any old soap in there. Sometimes you'll get shampoo bars. Sometimes you'll get body soap. One is 12.2, one's 12.4. I'm calling it good enough. Okay, but grab bags, I put anything in there and just say, here's a bag of soap. Scrap sacks, I recently started doing. Here is a bag of soap that is all the same soap. I do sell them at a discount. I'm going to go 12 ounces on those. These are snagged up so quickly. Now, if I wanted to, and what I used to do, I would save my ends of stuff like this, like the bigger ones, and I would kind of go Siaglia and work them back into a new batch of soap. Or if it was hot process, I just melt it into a batch because I make the soap all the time. You have to save the soap, so you're using up shelf space for keeping those scraps so you can use them later, which drove me a little bit bonkers. And then there's extra, the work of melting it down. Okay, it was all said and done. It's way easier and more cost effective to put them in a scrap sack like that and let your favorite customers, because they love you, they would love to have 3 bars of soap at a discount and they don't care what it looks like. They sell really, really, really quickly. But yeah, happy soaping, my friends. This was fun. Thank you so much. All right, until next week, happy soaping. I'll see you then.